And we're live. What is up, people? We are today here, Cool Mofo of the Week. Um, I forget the date of this week, so let me look. I think it's the week of the 28th. Am I right on that? Yeah, the week of January 28th, Cool Mofo. And we had like a series of events this morning that blew it all up. So let's get these shout outs first before we get into it. Mark, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in. Rudy, what's up, Moon? How's it going, dude? Thanks for your support. There's Shane. What up, Shane? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your support. Jay Slithers, what up, dude? Thanks for your support. Brian from Heathen Hatchery. What's up, Bob Ross? Thank you for your support. Chucky, what up, dude? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your support. Yeah, I can't add you. You are now blue, Chucky. So, all right, get into this cool mofo business. Around 11 o'clock, something started happening. My phone started just going da-ding, ba-ding, 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 ringing like all hell. And Shane from Heads and Tails made 440 comments at like 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. So 440 comments wins it. Shane, you're my coolest mofo this week. Thank you. And not to shy anything away from the second place person here, Jay Slithers, he had 180 comments. And third place, which had over 100, Brandon from Peace and Pets, like, wow, this is blowing up. I thank you guys. This is awesome. But Shane, first place this week. You're the coolest mofo. Jay Slithers, he topped you. I don't know what to say. He dethroned you. You're what, 3 week run? It got into today. Shane busted and blew it up. And then Brandon, you're on the board, buddy. I mean, you tried. Over 100 comments yourself. I mean, that's appreciated. Kind of feel bad for the people that didn't make the list this week. Cat Eyes had 42 comments. TNT Balls had 40 comments. Graceful Pythons had 15. Blakers had almost 30 comments. I mean, guys, we had 1,096 comments in a week. Holy shit. Like, I can't thank you enough. Like, that is awesome. That is more comments than we ever had by far. Like, you guys rule. You truly are some cool mofos. I mean, wish I can, reward everybody for it, but we got to put a point system and we got to make it a competition. So, this week's point standings, which if you're paying attention, they will be, I put a list every week after the show of, the point standings, but Jay Slithers with a second place actually gained his lead. He now has 14 total points, and he is 9 points in front of second place, which is TNT Balls. And Shane right there with 4 points with the wind, like you're right there. I mean, more wins stacked up, and you'll be there. Blakers has 3, Robin has 2, and Cat Eyes and Pete's and Pets both got 1. Just to explain my point system, the coolest mofo of the week gets 4 points, second place gets 2 points, or third place gets 1 point. So, yeah, we're setting records, we're setting numbers. I mean, I think I opened a can of worms, and I think they're going to make me pay for. No, Jay Slithers did not win again. Shane from Heads and Tails blew it out of the water this morning and commented like 440 comments on one comment. So though he does extend his lead over you, Todd, you're in second place with 5 points, but Shane creeped up behind you and now there's 4 because he got 4 points for the win. But holy hell. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. Like, this is awesome. 400 comments, like, is a crazy amount of comments for a week, and he did it in a day. Like, I appreciate the time that took. I appreciate. I'm just speechless. Like, you know, I didn't think this was going to turn into this much, but I mean, awesome. Blow it up. You are awesome. I love it. Keep it coming. Next week, let's get to 2,000 comments. Can we do it? Can we get to 2,000 in a week? We'll see. 5K. You're trying to make me count for hours, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, hey, it's how much dedication you want to put to it, Todd. You can do it how you want to do it. You can do it all in one, but every comment counts. I mean, that's what I said in the beginning. And I'm staying by, every comment. I'm not going to throw any more rules to it. It's just simple. You comment, I count it. Whoever has the most wins. You all going to have it. He ain't got that much time. Hey, there has to be a point to where it's too much for some people to do. And I mean, I get it, but I never thought and it would turn into this at all. Yeah, he dethroned you. I mean, that's for sure. Ewok, what's up, dude? How's it going? Exotic World of Geckos is my guest on the Let Me Know show tomorrow night. So he's just a newer, I mean, he's been in the hobby, of course, but this is like kind of his first time coming up. I always like to bring the new people up, and it's cool as hell. I mean, the algorithm likes comments, so the more comments I get, the better. I mean, so blow it up, have fun. Uh, he's trying to get a lead now. Well, you better step it up, it looks like, because Shane blew it up. What's up, Upstate? How's it going? Thanks for coming in. So I don't know if you guys watch this guy, but Tipping Scales, he kind of more or less like does reports, and he does a hell of a job. I'll say that guy does a really nice job of kind of talking about like the bigger issues in the community. And a couple weeks ago, someone had posted, I forget the guy's name, but someone posted, yeah, the video that he ran yesterday, the guy that posted about him freezing snakes. I mean, if you're going to make comments like that, as passionate as we all are about these animals, that dude should have expected repercussions. So I guess people, he said about, well, if the way the comment read to me and a lot of other people took it was, if the snakes don't sell, I'll just freeze them. And that is horrible. I don't know, like, what would even make a person say that. Like, I mean, that's just terrible. Why would you freeze a snake at all? Yeah, we're not going to hit on every snake. You know what I mean? And these misses that don't sell, I mean, it was disturbing, to say the least. And if you watch that video, I guess that his local, like local people that takes care of animals, like I forget what the organization was called, but the local authorities got called on him, and about this situation, and actually went there and checked out, and they found no evidence of it. So thank God that they didn't find any evidence of it. But I mean, if you're going to sit there and whether you are serious or not, if you're going to sit there and say, yeah, I freeze all the snakes that I have that are misses. I mean, there's a lot of passionate people out there about these animals, and I mean, there's going to be some repercussions about it. I just don't understand what that dude thought was going to happen. That he could just say, "Hey, I freeze my shit," and nothing happens. But I suggest you go watch that video. Tipping Scales has always done a really nice job at. Um, yeah, it is. It's a clear case of animal abuse if that's what you're doing on all your misses, for sure. But there's channels today to get rid of these undesirable snakes. There is so many ways. Like I just got into this. Like what in 2022, and last year was my first year, and I'm sitting on a couple snakes right now. But I put them in the auction, and they're gone. Like once the weather clears up and I could ship out, all these babies they're going out. I mean, if you're sitting on stuff like that, I think you're selling yourself short some way and not advertising properly. From what I'm seeing, snakes are still selling. Like people were saying, "Oh, the market's flooded, this and that." You know what it's flooded with? It's flooded with a bunch of undesirable snakes. And what caused that? I mean, I have an opinion what caused that, but yeah, you'll have snakes that don't sell. But what are ways to get rid of these snakes? And we have to educate people how to do it. I mean, there's wholesale, there's animal stores. As much as I hate saying this, but people who have like cobras and snakes that prey on other snakes, you could sell it to them for food you know if it's just. I mean, I don't agree with that 100%, but I mean, it's nature. There's snakes eat other snakes. But if that's what you got to do, it's better than fucking just putting it in the freezer. That is so inhumane. It ain't even funny. Yes, exactly. If you market yourself right, you're going to sell anything and everything you have, and that's exactly right. And okay, that there's another issue too, right there. The market value. You got a lot of these people that came into this during COVID and paid a premium price for these snakes. Now they're having their hatchlings, and the market dropped a little bit, and it dropped back to what I'm hearing, because I don't know this for fact, but from what I'm hearing, the market kind of dropped back to where it was before COVID. So did it really drop? I mean, it just evened out from what I'm seeing. And people are getting upset because they can't sell their snakes. Well, try lowering them a little bit. Try cutting it. I mean, would you rather have, like, say you got the snake for $500, put it out there for $250, and I guarantee it'll sell. If someone inquires about it, let them know. I mean, I don't know if I would put it right out there and I see the problem of racing to the basement. I see that being a problem because a lot of people are racing towards the basement, but you don't have to drop the prices on the advertisement of it. You just drop the prices on a one-to-one basis on when you're talking to the person that's interested in it. Give them the deal. Like I'm just not gonna hang on to snakes. I have outlets to do it. I mean, I could sell all my misses like to this what's it called, bulk, like in bulk, or wholesale guy for. I mean, he pays $10 a piece. That's all he'll pay. And, yeah, it's a loss, but do you want to sit there and feed that snake that you're not going to use? I mean, you're just throwing money at a snake that you don't want. So you might as well just, get rid of it. You're saving yourself money in the long run. I mean, I for dang sure ain't going to tell this wholesaler, like, say if I went and sold this yellow belly het pied female, and and I took it to the wholesaler, I would have just told him it was a normal female. I wouldn't have told him exactly what it was, and he would have took it and sold it as a normal, and someone would have got a yellow belly het pied and thought it was a normal. I mean, whether these snakes are going to pet owners or, I mean, what breeders do you know that are out there buying normals? I mean, Bosa maybe. I mean, yeah, if you're making your own rats, that price goes down. Or if you have a really good breeder like I do, that price is down. But still, you're spending that money every week to feed that snake. And another term that I absolutely hate is maintenance fed. Oh my God, that bothers me so bad. Hey, we got the rooster up.
I heard maintenance feeding.
What up, dude? How's it going?
I heard maintenance feeding, and I had to hop.
Hold on, I might have you muted. Let me check my volumes because I can't hear you. Got to talk again?
Hello.
Yep, we got you. It was me. I had you turned down.
I heard maintenance feeding. I had to hop on.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. As soon as I said maintenance feeding, you came up, and I was like, speak of the person who hates that word just as much as I do. I mean, that is just, I mean, why? I mean, you have no value in your collection if you're doing that. You have no pride in yourself. I mean, that's just a dirt bag way of doing it. And say you have this $1,000 snake, and you're maintenance feeding this thing. That thing's a year old at 200 grams, and you think you should still get $1,000, if not more, because you kept it for a year out of it? You're wrong. You're going to get less because you got a year-old snake that should be around 1,000 grams, give or take, maybe 800, and it's at 200 grams. You're going to get less. The value's less, and people need to realize this. I mean, you shouldn't get that price out of a maintenance fed snake. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Yeah, I mean, I feed my snakes weekly. Well, I offer food weekly. Whether they eat or not, I mean, most of the hatchlings, I have one that turned down food, but I mean, that's far and few between. Most of my hatchlings eat. All right. Well, I don't know. Just the guy that I wholesale to sell to, he pays $10 a piece. And what's he doing? I thought you was shaving something. I thought that was like the shaver part of it. Pet,
Nah, that's the big. I'm the big in my hair.
I thought you was shaving your head.
No, I was looking aside. I saw I had like a little thing, so I quickly buzzed off like some aside, and then just like that. Anyways.
All right. I don't know. Did you catch the beginning of the show?
No, I was kind of busy. I was doing my workout.
We almost had 1,100 comments last week in a week.
Ooh.
I had 1,096 comments this week.
Bro, that's crazy.
Crazy. I love it, though. I love it.
So speaking of that,
thanks for coming by.
So look at, and I haven't talked about this because I'm not going to name names because the person who did it said we forgot me. But when I first got in the hobby, I almost bought this firefly female.
All right.
And she was like 60 grams. Okay, she's a hatching. But then I asked how old she was, and they said she was like 8-9 months. And it was like, I kind of sat there and I was like, huh? Because I got an 8. I had the same male, right? I had a male at the time that was like 7 months and 750 grams, and I was just like,
All right, see, like this taught me something this year. I had a female first time breeder that laid 8 smaller eggs. And the snakes came out weighing between 40 and 45 grams, when usually like my others, all the other snakes came out between 60 and 70. These ones came between 40 and 45 because the eggs were much smaller. She was a first time mom. She laid 8 eggs and they were just smaller eggs. And I have them up over 200 grams right now. And they was born and I cut the eggs and on October 15th, and I have them all up over 200 grams. One of them's probably a little over 300, but I mean, and I'm feeding them every week, smaller meals. I'm not buying them the $2.50 rat, but that's all I pay for rats. Here and there, I'll buy the ones that I'm keeping but I mean, even if you're feeding, small ASFs, like just the weaned ASFs every week, they will grow, and it shows. And if you're maintenance feeding, I think that's going to be coming out a lot more as an issue, and it needs to, because it's bullshit, in my opinion. Anyways.
I see. That's why nothing that we have, like, we feed everything like we're playing to breed it. That's
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like what you do is when you maintenance feed, you put these animals in a position where they're going to be small, like the female, like the blackhead red xanthic yellow I got. She's going to be a small female for the rest of her life because she was underfed for most of her life, and like they're growing. The growing part of her life is done. She's a 6-year-old female. She ain't going to grow any bigger than she is now.
What's up, PJ? Thanks for coming in.
But it's just like, it's just what it is, like at the end of the day, like she's just going to be small female. We have to deal with that, but it's
right.
That's what happens. Like females that are maintenance fed will always be smaller than the females that are fed correctly, because at the end of the day, that first 6 months of a ball python's life is when they do their most their growing. And so if you feed them the most, like for that 6 months, they're going to end up being a lot bigger than ones that are maintenance fed. That's just simple facts. So
exactly.
if you want big females, don't maintenance feed. It's that simple.
When I first got into this, one of the first snakes that I bought was a blade lace clown female, and I got her for a really good deal because she was only born at 19 grams. She was born really, really tiny and small out of a boob egg. And like when I got her, she was a year old at 250 grams. But, coming from 19 grams, I mean, I feel they did a half decent job with it. You know what I mean? Like they had to start off feeding probably rat tails to the thing. You know what I mean? It probably wasn't even big enough. I mean, I thought these ones that I hatched out at like 40 grams were small. I couldn't imagine a 19-gram ball python hatchling.
We hatched the 16-gram female, and we had to start her off on ASF pinks.
Right. I don't know what they started off on, and I'm not going to get into who it was or anything, because I don't talk names like that. Yeah. But I feel they did a half decent job with her.
I would have, respectfully speaking, and I love you, bro, but I would have never sold you an animal that small that it's not established. I would have tried to establish her before I would have sold her to you, if that makes sense.
Okay, so the guy I got it off of bought it off the original breeder, and he sold it to me. He got it established and was eaten weekly, and then sold it to me because he didn't want to wait the time it took to get her to size.
Okay.
And he was up front and told me everything about it. That's why I got it for so cheap.
That's understandable. I was saying, but I was just wondering if the breeder sold it to him. Actually, I don't think the breeder that sold it to him then
I guess it was bought at the auction at Tinley in 2020, late 2021, October.
Oh,
It was an auction snake that was bought, and the guy, got it up to, decent size when he sent it to me. And I tell you what, she never missed a meal. I mean, maybe here
dang.
and there, maybe, but she eats pretty regularly, and she's like up to 1,800 grams now. And like, I don't know if she'll get much bigger because she was such a small snake, but she's growing.
That happened
What's up, Tara?
to the blackhead girl.
Tara?
Cause see, the person I got it from like a raffle right out
Right.
the egg. Like it wasn't established or anything. It was crazy. Right out the egg at 30 grams. Got shipped right to the person and was underfed for like it for five years. The only time it hit over 1,000 grams was when it was paired at like 800 grams at 5 years old. It hit 1,200, then laid eggs, and then fell to 680 grams. And with us, she's never missed a meal. In fact, we feed her 2, 3 smalls at a time, and now she's like 1,500, 1,600 grams.
Yeah, if she's going to
Just
eat it, one, might as well give it to her.
fact, but it's the fact that she just doesn't look like a healthy 1,600 grams. Like if that makes because her body is so small. It's not like, but it's like cause she's small, but she just looks really thick, small,
Mhm.
like female.
She's short. She's short and stumpy. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, short and stumpy. Yeah, short and
Mhm.
stumpy.
Right.
But she's building, so she's gonna go. It's just, but
We
that's why I
might
say
get a truffle
don't.
shuffle out today. We're teetering between 15, 16 people. We get a couple more, we might get a shuffle out of today. Just saying.
Yeah. And that's kind of also why I don't agree with this whole you got to keep your males small or they'll get lazy thing because we have multiple males that are like over 2,000, like 17 to 2,000 grams that if you put them in, they'll lock with whatever, no issues whatsoever.
See, look, we got fans of the shuffle. They want to see it. We need 4 more people in here. Can't do it unless we hit 20. That's the rules. We stick by the rules here. We play by the rules all the time. So we need 4 more. We got a half hour to do it. Can we do it? Let's hope.
Facts. Look at what
What's up,
Slitter
Casey?
said. Exactly what Slitter said, bro. Big males. It's easier. Look, in my mind, it's easier for big males to lock to breathe than the small males because the small males have to work harder, in my opinion, because they're smaller and the females are so big. A big male
Right.
is big enough to actually, because you know what? I don't care if you don't want to lock. We're
Yeah.
going to lock anyway. We're going to lock.
Yeah. That big female will tell that little dude to get the hell off me.
Yeah, the big female will be like, hell no. The big male
Right.
will be like, hell no. Like, this is going
Right.
yeah,
So
that's what.
I wanted to touch base with this on you and get your opinion on it. Before you came on, and we was talking about, I don't know if you watch Tipping Scales or not, but he does really good. Like if you don't watch the guy, I suggest you go follow him because if there's something big that's happening in the community, he's reporting on it. And he just did a video about that guy that put out there about freezing his snakes that don't sail.
Bob Boas?
Yeah,
Yes, and
yeah. That guy. I don't really like mentioning names, but that guy, he deserves to be called out. Like
oh,
basically, what had happened is he made them comments, and people called his local authorities, and they came there and actually did an investigation. They didn't find any proof of him doing that, but what do you expect's going to happen if you're going to make comments like that?
I spoke on this when it first came out, and I said this was a cop because it's like here's the thing. I'm gonna just be perfectly honest. I have no idea. I have no issue with freezing snakes if they're for a purpose of like feeding other snakes. Like feeder snakes are a need in this hobby. There's a lot of snake eaters, But when he said what he said, he just when they're not selling or they're low
Yeah,
quality or they're thing, and you're just gonna freeze them and throw them away. That just shows that you're about the money. That's inhumane. And honestly, bro,
exactly.
I don't believe in cancel culture, bro. But dude like that needs to be canceled. I'm sorry.
Then that's how
Right.
I feel about it. If you're going to sit there and say that, you know, you freeze snakes because they don't sell, then you deserve to be, getting heat 100%. But if you watch that video, there he goes over proper ways of disposing snakes, and for years, I guess, lowering the way that they did it for years. I guess in 2008 or 2009 when it come out that it's not good to freeze snakes like that. It's what was that guy's name? I know it's Bob. The Bob's Boas.
Bubba is like pipping is like for me. Piffing or king steak, and I'm gonna be real. A lot of people still do freeze their steak. They freeze them as hatchlings if they're deformed or stuff. Like that's just the reality of it. But I'll never do it. I'll piff. I'll feed off to the king snake. I actually had to do it once where I had to piff, and I almost I threw up because I just the act of like taking another like an animal that you kind of incubated and you
What's
wanted
up,
to
Rob?
bring to this world, bro, like
All right.
taking a life, just it made me feel like freaking. I felt shitty the whole week, bro. Even though it was out of my control, like I just
Hey, Reptile, I am. What's up, Steve? Thanks for coming in.
a good
But
thing.
yeah,
No,
I had to
it
I had to call one this year. I mean, its head was severely kinked back. It was like a U shape. It
was
was kinked here and
yeah,
kinked here, and its head was like it was a
yeah.
U. And there was no way that snake was going to survive at all. I mean, it would have died of starvation. So, I mean, I don't even really like talking about it, but I got a cinder block and then I took a smaller brick and laid it down and I smashed its head and it was dead instantly. I just took the brick
Yeah.
and went smash, dead instantly, and it was over. It sucked to do, but I feel that's kind of the most humane way of doing it. I mean, it didn't suffer. It didn't, I mean, the egg sac, like its yolk sac, was still attached to it when I killed it. You know what I mean? Because I cut it and I could see it was severely kinked. So
That's
I let it get out of the egg, cut it enough to come out of the egg, and I seen that it was severely deformed. And I called it. I smashed its head with a brick. And I think that's the most humane way of doing it. Um, as I was saying before, back before 2008 when it came out, I guess it was known as a humane way to kill snakes to lower the temperature of them slowly and then
hold up.
freeze them. But that
Hold up, Dennis, what? Like dropping out. I'm about to say, I thought that context was weird because I looked at what Dennis said because he said drop it off like not a snake guy. And then I looked down and I was like, oh, I thought it was something else. I was like,
no, he's just an adventurer Bigfoot guy that subscribed to me from another person, and he's here just supporting. We appreciate you, Dennis.
yeah, I read that. No, but what you're saying though, it's like that's why I got a king snake, bro. Because honestly speaking, I just for me it just it's kind of clearing my conscience in a sense because it's like okay, just in case this happens, I can feed it off this, and then it serves a purpose, and then I don't have to have that feeling of I'm killing. You know what I'm saying? An animal I cared about.
That's what's
You
up,
feel
dude.
me?
Yeah, I mean, but just like Jay Slithers is saying, like he's been assist feeding ones since September of 2022. They'll wrap but won't eat on their own. That's dedication to your trade, to your animals. That shows you care about your snakes enough to take that extra time to help them survive. I mean, trying Da Vinci is another way of doing it. I mean, I'm hearing that a couple more people try that, and there is one for specific ball pythons called Reptaid. I think that's what it's called, Reptaid. And a couple people were trying that too, and a Reptile I Am says U.S. Ark. Of course, if you ain't following U.S. Ark and you're in this, I mean, you should be, because these guys fight for our rights as snake owners, breeders, keepers. They fight for the reptile community, and it's $40 a year for the bronze membership. If you're doing this and you can't afford $40 a year, then you're doing something wrong. So go support U.S. Ark all the way.
No, honestly though, I just I think a lot of older people they won't stop freezing. But like even if you explain, because I've explained it, I have a few people I'm not gonna. I talked about. They say they still
Right.
freeze their things, and I'm like, do you understand? Imagine being put in a cold place that you couldn't get out, and slowly feeling your body freeze and your flesh crystallize, and that's all that pain stuff. Like that's what's happening.
Right. Keep
Yeah,
up the good work here. I'm about ready to renew mine too.
it's just I don't know that these are living things, and yes we make money off them, we sell them and do it, but we gotta keep we we shouldn't forget that they feel things too. We all feel things, and we should try to be as respectful as we can. Because look at without these animals, a lot of people wouldn't be. Look at where would Canova be without ball pythons? Where would a lot of the big names be without ball pythons? You feel me?
Lost
Or
it.
boas?
Oh, dude.
Where would people where would people be like without these animals? So like treat them with the basic respect.
Exactly.
That's all. Oh, that's all. Yeah,
That's
that's all.
that's it. So what's up, Zombie? How you doing today?
Pretty good, brother. How you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right. We
Nice.
had 1,096 comments this week. We got blew up. That's awesome.
That's insane.
Yep.
You went from
Insane.
like how many was it? 1,200 or 2,000?
Well, and comments like my normal was probably around, I'd say 500. This week we got over 1,000.
So you went from like a couple, because I remember when you were doing like
Oh
a
yeah,
couple
we can fit 10 up here, Steve. Let me drop the link in the channel again. Go ahead, Zombie. Sorry.
Yeah, so you blew that
Oh,
up. 'Cause I remember when there was just a few hundred. Now you're at like 1,200.
Right. Yeah. It's blowing up for sure, and I can't be thankful enough to the community for it. But speaking on those terms, I'm like 84 watch hours away from getting monetized as well.
Nice. Oh yeah.
It's just blowing up too. I mean, I don't. I'm so grateful for everyone. But anyone else wants to jump in, the links in the chat right there. So a midday party.
man.
We trying to make it that.
See, I'm excited, bro. You see, like, what I was trying to do with my mohawk, bro. Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up, Steve?
Where's that belt
Sliggy?
at?
What is
Let me
up,
see that beautiful
everybody?
belt. I'm so jealous of that belt. I want one so bad.
They don't come cheap.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like, how do you even win that? Like, you at the auction at US Ark, do you like
Yeah.
spend the most money or something?
So do you want to know the story? I'll just run through the story if you
Yeah.
want to know the story. Let me grab it real quick so I can show you the stuff on it.
All right. Because I'm interested. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, and when I first seen that US Ark belt, I'm like, no way.
So
That's tight.
first of all, the US Ark belt was donated by Zoomed and Timberline.
All right.
They had it made, and they started the NARBCs by having this be one of the donations that went to the US Ark auctions that they do on like Saturday nights at all
Right.
of the NARBC shows. What they did was it was auctioned off at each of the individual events. The very first one would have been out in Arlington. That's the one that I snagged.
Right.
So I dropped $4,300 to support the ARC that night, and just have the belt for like a 24-hour time frame, of which it got put back in the hands of Timberline, and at the very next show, it went back up for auction. So it went for me, and then from me, it went to Morph Market.
Right.
It went to Morph Market. Then it went to Snake Discovery. Then it went to Bob's Ball Shed. And then on the other side, it went to Bob's Ball Shed again. Now, here's how the overall consensus was. At the end of the season, 2023 season, whoever had the highest bid on the belt or the highest amount through multiple bids got to retain the belt. Okay.
Nice.
So, I was still the very highest bidder going into the very last one, out in St. Louis, which that spot is actually still blank, and it's blank for a reason. So the bidding started, and we bid up to like 2,600, and it was kind of a back and forth thing. Darian from Morph Market ended up getting it, and I think he ended up paying like 42 or 43 or something like that. And with the fact that Morph Market had already won it, it gave them the highest accumulative total.
Right.
So, and then you'd be like, well, Steve, you said that the person that has the belt, blah, 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 right?
Right.
So that was Saturday night. It was a really dope deal. This belt raised so much money for US ARC, man, and it really stirred a lot in the community. So Darian won the belt, and he hit me up on my cell phone and text message and stuff, and he said, hey, Steve, you gonna go ahead and see about getting that at the next show so you can take it home? And I was like, man, I wished I could, bro, but this was the final round. And I'm an individual, Ken, you know,
Right.
I'm not a multi-company conglomerate or anything like that. So like, our finances are our finances. And when I put that $4,300 on the line, that was a little bit more than a $30 membership.
Exactly.
That's some serious bank, and that could have gone to a lot of other things if I wanted to be vain for it. It could have gone towards a just gorilla beast of an animal.
Exactly.
Multi-animal project. But I wanted to show my reptilian army that I was willing to put my money where my mouth is. So anyways, I told Darian, congratulations, dude. It was a really cool ride. I was just blessed to be able to actually be a part of it. And he's like, man, I really wish that belt was going to you. I see a lot of people that do a lot better than myself, and I don't see them really raising their hand at these auctions. And he said, Steve, you're the only sole individual that ever bid on the belt, let alone won the belt. And I was like, yeah, I guess I had never really thought about that. And then it just kind of went quiet. And so this would have been Sunday that Darian reached out. And me and Jenny had gone out to eat, me and my wife. And I get a phone call from Vanessa with US ARC.
Right.
And she says, hey, Steve, have you left yet? And I said, no, I technically haven't left, but I am out to eat right now or whatever. And she goes, well, Darian just got a hold of us, and he would like you to take the belt.
Wow.
And I'll be honest with you, just the stigma and everything around it, dude, like I was not okay. I melted down. I was in tears. And I immediately reached out to Darian and gave him a call. And I was like, dude, you know what? a lot of people say a lot of things. This really meant a lot to me in a lot of different reasons. And he was like, man, you're the people's champ, dude.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
So
awesome.
that is how the U.S. ARC belt ended up in the general's hand. And like I said, it wasn't for my own vain reasons. It was strictly to promote the reptilian army and show anybody that sometimes just one person can still be enough. So anybody that wants to get behind me and help promote this unity and community, dude, there's so much room. And as you pay stuff forward, it's funny how it'll come back to you.
Hell yeah.
That's
Awesome. That is just,
so
that's awesome.
That's the story and how it went down, dude. And as a matter of fact, I think this is the first time that I've ever went like straight through the story.
That's
yeah.
Awesome. I mean,
congrats.
I just earned more respect. I always respected Darian for what he did. Like, I know a lot of people talk trash on him, and he likes to kick the pot and stir it up a little bit, but just that story there, yeah, I just earned a lot of respect for Darian. Like,
you know,
give it to someone like you that's an individual and not a company that's saying you deserve it. That's what it's about.
Away. I was blown away, and I was like, dude, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm going to say thank you, and that's all I can say. And Darian, I got to get off the phone because I'm about to melt down. And I was already tearing up and crying and stuff because there's just, it hit various levels of bucket list going back to me being a really little kid and stuff. So it meant more to me than just being an object.
Yeah.
So it felt like a full rotation and a culmination of everything that we've been trying to do. So, but yeah, Darian has controversial posts and stuff, and I get it. And you know what? I too get to see a lot of that stuff. I'm kind of newer to the YouTube community, but like, I mean, I have like 15,000 followers between all of the stuff on Facebook. So I spend a lot of time over there, and that's where a lot of the controversy comes from. But that's what he did for me. And he didn't have to do that, Ken.
Not at all.
He didn't have to do that.
He almost ruined my steak dinner.
Yeah, we had just ordered steak. I was all shook up, bro. I couldn't even eat, and me and Jenny hadn't eaten in like 18 hours, so we were about to pass out, and I was just, dude, there was just tears in my mashed taters, bro. I can't be more legit about it. But just a great moment, just an amazing, great moment, dude. So.
Right. You said about, like, you know, people stepping up and preaching this community thing. And I started this RWO thing on YouTube, and that's what we are about. Like, we are about community, like helping everyone out. And you know, that's just it. And that's how people got invited to be in this group. It's because I seen them either supporting or just doing things for other people. And that's what we're about. We're going to do things this year. I want to do an RWO auction. We just did an auction. We raised $18,000 for Stan between the two auctions. And we're doing another one this weekend of the overflow of stuff that we got. Like, during the auction, we was getting emails of, hey, I'd like to donate this. Hey, I'd like to donate this. And we just couldn't get to all of them. So there's like, I think 10 or so items we're going to donate off or auction off on Celtic Balls.
Go ahead and get with you because I'd like to put a couple small little packages together and get some stuff over there too. You know, that's really how I found you, Ken.
That's pretty cool.
Was that first auction you did, and having a ball was like, hey, Steve, come check this out, dude. So I slithered over, and I loved what I saw down in the threads and how everybody was like it's the community that I'd really been looking for. And I'm just going to be straight and legit about this. I hadn't seen that since maybe my first 6 months, even having ball pythons. And I realized why, and it was because of your guys' live. And what I realized was sometimes we get so focused on the top 10% of breeders in the entire world, right? We're watching all of their stuff on YouTube and we're following them and this and that. We are missing out on 90% of the people. And that's 90% of the real people that understand the everyday grind of stuff. So it changed gears for me and it got me excited all over again, dude. All over again. And then, the honesty is I don't do a whole lot with carrying the belts around and this and that because I don't want it to look like I'm bragging or whatever. It made me feel really good that you wanted to hear the story and you wanted to see it. Just so you know, I dig that, man, and I appreciated you doing that. So,
dude, I'm envious. Like I wanted one day that just went on my bucket list. One day I want to possess that belt, whether it's a day, if I just get it a day, I don't have to have it. I just want that thing on here, on my shoulder, around my neck, whatever, for one day. I got to have it. It's something I got to have.
I tell you what,
I got it.
Hey, I got to head out.
Hours.
Later, Prophecy.
I won that in Arlington, right? I must have took 487 pictures in every way, shape, or form you could think of with me with that belt, just so I had it because of the price point that it was. And I never dreamed that one day it would live in area. I never,
right.
I never dreamed that, dude. I'm a regular dude, just like anybody else, man. I am. I was in a really good opportunity, and the honesty is I probably won't ever be in that opportunity again. But I did very financially well in 21 and 22, outside of reptiles. So it carried over for my passion, and I kind of looked at it like this. This is partially my religion. So I was kind of putting my 10% towards the till or whatever.
Right.
And mine happened to be just a little bigger than what some people could do, but it was just to prove a point that any little bit can help. And if you can, you should. And there it is, dude. So I don't care if somebody donates $5 because 30's too much for a membership. Whatever, man, you got to work towards whatever it is. I didn't wake up and then here was the belt. So steps.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to step on them grounds one day. One day I want to be there, and I'm just going to push through and do it. I mean, I've only been in this, since 2022. Like I'm newer to this whole thing, and I decided right from the get-go that I was going to use YouTube as kind of a marketing strategy, and it just blew up from there. And I just can't be thankful enough for all the support, all the people. I mean, it's awesome, and I'm not stopping. This is just going to grow, and where it takes me is where it takes me.
Absolutely, sure. Absolutely. And I'm not going anywhere, guys. Like, my stuff is skin deep. I didn't ever want to forget that this right here is for life. So I stuck that in my skin so I'll never forget it. And the main reason I did that is because when you've been going at it for 5 or 6 years or whatever, there's days you wake up and you're like, man, maybe it's time to hang it up. Area's always got my back, bro. Those are the eyes on my back. Watch it. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a ride or die with this, dude.
Right. And that's where I'm at. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, I used to be so hesitant with snakes. I didn't think I'd own more or less, owned 40 snakes. I didn't think I'd pick one up ever. But now I own 40 of them, and I'll grab a tub and pick it up. And it's just like I conquered that fear. What else is this hobby, this infatuation, because this love, hell, what else is this love for these animals going to take me? And the sky's the limit as I see it, and I'm going to reach for it. I mean, I'm like,
you know, whatever was blocking you prior to you starting to get into snakes, you know, whether it was fear, whether it was anxiety, it was unprecedented. And that's just the proof in the pudding, because here you are today. And, you know, the truth of the matter is 9 out of 10 times, that's everybody's story. So like, one thing I like to do, I don't ever consider myself to be an educational tool. Okay. The reason is because I'm a student, and I forever want, and you
yes,
guys taught me something here a week and a half ago. So, you know, I'm just always watching, always observing, and trying to elevate in some way, shape, or form. So I don't consider myself an educator in that aspect. But what I am trying to be known as is a fear conqueror. And I'm going towards like your tarantulas and your snakes. Now tarantulas and spiders that's a harder one to get over than snakes. It really is. But I have gotten so many people past snakes, because when somebody says the horrible stuff, you know, oh, only good snake, I'm not trying to hear all of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'll just simply ask them why.
yeah.
What is the reasoning? Did something happen to you? And it's either no, not really, I just don't like them, or well, my brother used to catch him in the yard and he'd toss it on my leg. Hell yeah, scared the hell out of that snake too, you know?
All right.
So like it's a irrational fear that you can work towards getting people over that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
And you just have to be able to read the person in front of you. That doesn't mean you come in and you're afraid and it's like, hey, check this out. Boom. And you put it in their hands. There's steps depending on where somebody's at with this fear. I say it's an irrational fear, but no fear is really irrational to the individual that's going through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's very real to them, and anybody that's willing to try to take that step, I would absolutely love to take the steps it takes to get someone there. So that's kind of the direction we're looking to go with the Reptile I Am an area over here. So we'll see how it goes, but if nothing else, I'm gonna turn a few people.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So
Right. You just said something that is the main reason why I keep doing this. You said I taught you something, and just that's the thing that keeps me going. Hearing people every once in a while say, "Hey, you know, I watched the show. I learned this from you." That's motivation.
and you know what? All too often as adults, we don't do that stuff.
Exactly.
We don't do that stuff. Whether it be humility or whatever, or you don't want to say this to this person because, well, that put them in a position where they think they're over you or whatever. It's not supposed to be about that, guys. It's what Ken knows and what Ken does is different from what I know and what I do. It doesn't make his way right and my way wrong, but there can also be common grounds that if both sides aren't just so locked in that there's only one way, that means there's room for growth, and that's for the animals, not the breeder or owner.
Exactly. Well
and that's
said.
what it's supposed to be about.
Well said. 100%. Yep.
So the opinion of a short little leprechaun from the Midwest, you know, it's It's just my point of view, but if you don't believe it, then
Well, I like the short little leprechaun's point of view. I think it's pretty fucking cool.
I'm just saying, there's so much room for everybody to be happy for somebody else and somebody else's success, and don't be afraid to tell them that. How many times I get people after a show that are like, hey, Steve, I saw you down at Tinley, man. I really wanted to get a picture, but I just, dude, I want to get a picture with them too, man.
Right.
So like that stuff still gets me all excited and stuff, because there's people I still walk up to. I went up to Tom Crutchfield like a little girl and stuff and was like, hey, Tom, can I get a picture? And he's like, I know who you are, Steve. And then I just like melted, I'm like, dude. And so he's like, yeah, I see your stuff. And we sat down and had a little conversation back and forth, and it's just like, I feel so blessed to have met some of the people that I have. And just for anybody watching, it's not that I'm special. All it is putting yourself in the right situation for a good possibility to happen to you. So had I not put myself out in the field where these people were at, you never get the opportunity to go up and say hi, and you'd be surprised how many will talk to you.
Right. One of the last shows I was at, I was, just sitting there looking at the tables, and I heard, hey, that's LNK. And I turned around and I was like, yeah, I'm LNK Reptiles. How's it going? And I was just like shocked that somebody that I have no idea who they are knew who I was. I don't know them from my chat, but they know me. What? And their kids took a picture with me, and it was just like, wow, like this is.
Well, that's the stuff I talk about, man. The
This is
people
awesome.
want a picture. We want to take pictures with you. You're our reptilian family, dude. Bring it. How often is something posted that more often than not, you get the little gremlins from under the bridge coming out, throwing blocks and little pieces of shit at you or whatever. I love it when people are just open and honest and they want the positive side of stuff.
Right.
I love that stuff, man. I really do.
We don't focus on the negativity here. We only focus on the positive stuff, and that's what we're going to do. The negativity, we will talk about it, but we're going to come up with solutions for the negativity, and make it a positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
What up, Eric?
What's up, Eric B?
Well, we got an hour. We usually do the show for about an hour. I appreciate you guys coming up. Steve, I especially appreciate you telling that story. That pulls at the heartstrings, just hearing there's other people in this community that feel kind of the same way that I do. Like, let's grow this bitch. Let's stop this stupid bickering. Like, who cares how you do it? This is how I do it. That's how you do it. Get over that and let's move on and actually make something of this. Let's lay a ground and show people how you do this shit. And I attempt it. I'm just a small guy, but maybe one day I'll be heard, and I will be.
Well, nobody hears until somebody stands up and sings the song. So not everybody likes the words, but you're going to pick some people up along the way, and those are our people, dude. I appreciate you come on, and we'll definitely do it again, bro, for sure.
Fuck yeah, I'm down. I mean, you're like an idol to me. You got that belt. You're an idol. Like I feel honored to shake your hand.
Just so you know, I asked your permission to come into the family, bro. So just so everybody knows, I'm the one that came to Ken, and I was like, hey, man, I love what I saw. If you guys will have me, dude, I'd love to be part of the family. So
you're welcome anytime. And I said that right away. Steve, you're in. You want in, you're in. What's up, Michaela?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the threads. Peace out now.
Peace. I love that dude. He's awesome. All right, Zombie. We'll see you around, brother. We'll see you
All right.
Thursday. Let me go through the spiel of what's going on this week. Tomorrow we have Exotic World of Geckos on. So that should be interesting. Newer guy into the YouTube scene. Let's show support for him. Let's show the love for him. We got a couple people coming in still. Tammy, how's it going? We're getting ready to head out. Tonight, I'm actually on Celtic Balls. We're going to be kind of promoting this overflow auction for Stan. If anybody out there has anything they would like to donate to the overflow auction, get a hold of me and we'll get it into the auction. Please don't wait until the auction starts because we won't see it. And I don't want to have another overflow of the overflow auction.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, we're on Kent's channel, I believe, for the RWO show. Because Stan was last week, so this week's Kent.
Kent.
Yep. It will be on Kent.
Yeah, Justin's after him, huh?
Yep. Then Justin, then you, and then Jose, and then back to me.
Yeah.
Steve wants in. We're gonna work him in too. He's welcome too.
Guy has some good energy.
Hell yeah, he matches me, and that's what I love. Someone matches excitement. Someone matches.
Yep.
But keep them comments coming in for the cool mofo. Shane blew it up this week with 440 comments. Boom! Blew it up. Jay Slithers took second. Brandon from Piece of Pets got in on the board with the third place. We had 1,069 comments, 96 actually. I just like saying 69. So we'll go with 1,069 comments this week. Keep them coming. Let's get 2,000 next week. Till then, peace. We love y'all.